Hello, welcome to episode 6. And what have I done this week? Yay, I've finished. I've got this. This has been on the dummy for probably about 2 years. I designed the first version of this way back in 2008 for a book that was only available for the American market, and also back in 2008. Back then, in the old days, there wasn't digital patterns like there are now, so that was in book form. I have updated the pattern and made it available in digital form for everyone. So this is a single pattern, and I finally finished it. So people ask how long it takes to knit something and design something. So we could say that I first designed this back in 2008. But this version I updated quite recently. And by recently, I mean probably about 5 years ago, post-COVID, I would say. So I updated it about 5 years ago, and it's just been waiting to be finished, sewn together, and an updated pattern. So the pattern is available, and this is what it looks like. Crew neck, knitted in pieces, set in sleeves, and with all my designs I make sure that when you do come to sew it up, the seam is hidden. So the seam is hidden there in the knit too, and it takes 6 hanks to knit the first 2 sizes. So we've got Blue Face Leicester DK, so you could knit it in a neutral if you fancied, or you can knit it in their colour range, so the Blue Face Leicester, so you can knit it in a nice green, blue, whatever you fancied. So it takes 6 to do the first 2 sizes, and they're coming up at 38 inches. I've done the inches because that's what we usually do for busts, don't we? But I can do centimetres, so 91.5 and 96.5. And yeah, so a bit of rib at the bottom, and then this is my favourite rib to do, because I like knitting to be really relaxing, to sit down and relax with, because we've all got busy lives, we're all rushing around, and yeah, I just like my knitting that you can sit down and relax with it. So for this one, you have what I call a row off, and that's just a knit row. So on the wrong side you do your purl 4, knit 2, and on the right side you just knit. So you have to concentrate a little bit on the wrong side, but then you can sit back and relax and just knit to the end on the right side. So yeah, so that's the pattern, and it's available to download now on my website and on Ravelry. So on my website it's just for UK knitters, just because of the kerfuffle with delivery charges that went all over the shop around about COVID time. Oh, that's twice I've mentioned it tonight, this afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. That's twice I mentioned this. I don't wonder why. So on my website, only UK customers can download, but if you go on Ravelry, everyone can download on Ravelry for a pattern, and you don't have to be a member of Ravelry to download a pattern from there. So yeah, so if you've got any questions about the Tom jumper, just shout. It's unisex, so I did design it for a gentleman, so that was who I designed it for, but anyone can wear it. And I think this would look really nice in a little polo neck, turtleneck, like what I'm wearing, and you just knit a bit more. So yes, I've done that. Yay! Just taken me 5 years to finish that one. And then in contrast, the Super Space hat, which I finished in about 2 weeks, I got that from knitting it to layout stage. So yeah, so people usually say how long, or a lot of people usually ask how long it takes me to design something. Sometimes it can take 2 weeks, sometimes it can take 5 years. And this one, which this one's taking I don't know, about a month. So I'm a process knitter rather than how long does it take me to knit something knitter. So a lot of people are like, oh, I haven't got time to knit. I don't see it as whether, I don't put time on it. So I just sit back and relax with the knitting, or not relax sometimes. Sometimes if I'm like, I want to see what this looks like, I might be like, "Ugh." But yeah, most of the time I'm sitting back relaxing. I'm not worried about how long it's taking me to do something. I'm just thinking tonight I'm gonna knit a row or knit some stitches, or oh, I've got 10 minutes to spare. I'll just sit down and I'll knit a few stitches rather than like scrolling the scroll of doom on the internet, on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. I just yeah, I think if it's far more productive and better for your mind, and I have to tell myself this as well, but it's a lot more productive, better for your mind to sit there and do some rows knitting than scrolling and seeing some stranger what they're doing on a beach somewhere or something. It's fun to do, but everything in limitations. So yeah, so this is out with the test knitter. So this one hopefully will be ready in the new year, so January sometime. And I have finished knitting this version of it. So this I just need to sew in the ends, and this one is knitted in the round. So this one's going to be available first, and this is knitted in pieces. So then this one will be available after this one, which is knitted in the round, so there's no side seams to sew up. And since I finished this one and that one, I've been getting a little bit excited for doing more with using two colours together. So I'm doing a little swatch, because the next thing I'm going to do is a cardigan in this, so something with sleeves. So hopefully I'll get that done. I'm still on with this, and hopefully by next week I shall have finished it. I had to pull this back because I was going to try and get it out of 3 balls, but that's not going to happen. So I pulled it back, and now I'm going to, well, only halfway, I'm going to get it out of 4 balls. And so then this is a scarf. This is the Tara scarf, which is available at the moment in DK, but this one I'm doing in Clash. This one I'm doing in Chunky, so Quicker Knit. So hopefully finish that one next week. But this one's great because, again, I'm not thinking, oh, how long is it taking me to knit a scarf? I just think of the sections. So I think it's an 8-row repeat. I can't remember now. I have knitted it loads. And I just think, all right, I'll get to the end of that section. I'll get to the end of that section. And then, yeah, it'll be ready when it's ready, hopefully next week. But there's no deadline on that. And then the other thing that I hope to do this week, because rather than have things like this, so like I knit a lot of the designs, but also I have a couple of lovely knitters who knit for me, and they do the pieces and then I sew it together. And that one was knitted in pieces for a while, and then this one is knitted in pieces, which I would need to sew up. And this is the Matilda waistcoat, which is this pattern, and this yarn is discontinued because obviously if I knit in it and do a pattern in it, then the manufacturers are going to discontinue it and then they'll sell out of it. So this yarn just sold out really quickly because I knitted in it, did a pattern in it, and it goes. So I'm getting it, I've had it knitted up in a new shade, which hopefully will stay around for a while. Just need to sew that up, and I'm going to show you that product next week, because that's what these are for, getting me on it. Okay, so thanks for joining this week and have a good one.